Earlier today, I filmed a video where I talked about how the media and politicians and people on the left use fear-mongering to demonize firearms. And actually, that was just a little while ago I filmed that video, a few hours ago. By the time you see this video, it'll be on yesterday that I posted that video. So if you want to see the video, go look at the video I posted yesterday. This is actually tomorrow, really, by the time you see this when I'm filming it. I'm not wearing the same clothes 2 days in a row. This is the same day. You're just seeing this tomorrow. Just to be clear. That being said, like I said, I made that video, and there was one thing I said in that video that seems to have caught a lot of people's attention because a lot of people have been emailing me about it already. In that video, I said the left aren't the only ones that use fear-mongering regarding firearms. I said the right does it too, or the pro-gun movement does it too. We do it the opposite. I say we as a collective. We use fear to sell firearms. Gun manufacturers love that, and a lot of gun channels play into that. And I said, it might be marginally better than using fear to demonize firearms, but it's not much better. I say marginally better because if you're using fear to sell firearms, well, at least the firearms are still there and the potential to do good things with them still exists. If you use fear to demonize them and they go away, if they're ever needed, they're not there, so there's no potential for them to do good. So that's why I say it's marginally different. But both things, using fear to demonize and using fear to promote, are both horrible things as far as I'm concerned. They're both a disgusting thing to do. They piss me off. Now, a lot of people might be okay with selling firearms through fear. I'm not. And I'll tell you why I'm not. Because when you sell firearms through fear, you're being dishonest. We live in one of the safest countries during one of the safest time periods in existence. So to pretend like we should all be fearful every moment of our lives, that's just dishonest. And it really makes it hard to call out the left on their dishonesty and the media on their dishonesty if we're doing it too. Makes us kind of hypocrites. You don't need to use fear to sell firearms because when you do, you don't sell them to people for the right reason and people don't have the right mindset associated with those firearms. When you make people buy guns out of fear, all you end up with is a bunch of fearful, angry people owning guns. People that have the wrong idea of why they even need that gun. That doesn't do anybody any good to have a bunch of fearful, angry, armed people out there. It doesn't do any of us any good. I want people, when they buy a firearm, not to be angry. I want them to feel prepared. I want them to feel responsible. I want them to be comforted. I don't want them to be angry and frightened. I want them to understand the positives of owning a firearm and the positive reasons to own a firearm. That's how we should sell firearms. We sell firearms because of multiple reasons. The first and foremost reason being they are necessary to maintain a free society. If we want to maintain a government that actually serves the people instead of rules the people have to maintain power. They have to maintain the ability to fight. Firearms are one of the most important aspects of that fight. I would say they're the second most important aspect. Free speech is the number one important aspect, being able to speak out against our government. And what protects our free speech? Our firearms. So they are very, very important. So if you look at that way, they're kind of even, aren't they? So we have to sell guns for the right reason. Selling guns for the wrong reason, like I said, doesn't benefit anybody. You just create an entire subculture of people that are armed for the wrong reasons. We don't want that. I would rather half the people not own a gun I would rather that happen than I would everybody buy a gun for the wrong reason and have the wrong mindset while they own that gun. I want everyone to understand how safe they are. I want everyone to understand the real reasons to own a gun. Like I said, first and foremost, defense of a free nation. Second, they are good for personal self-defense and for defense of your home, etc. Most people, though, will never have to do that. And even though you never have to use a gun in self-defense, and you may never have to use it against a tyrannical government, they're also fun. They're tons of fun. They're fun to own. They're fun to customize. They're fun to take to the range. They're fun to engage in sporting events, shooting sports. There's all kinds of positive reasons to own a gun. They're just even collecting. There's multiple good reasons to own a gun. And like I said, doesn't matter why you buy them, as long as you have a good mindset, the gun is there whenever they're needed. Doesn't matter if you bought it as a collector's item. If you went out and bought a Beretta 96 because you saw it in a movie and you buy it as a collector's item, well, if things go bad, it's still there. You can still use it for what it was intended for. So buy guns for the right reasons, or whatever reasons you want, because as long as they're not fear and anger, etc. Because like I said, it doesn't do us any good. That's what I hope for. I hope for a society where we can actually call out the left and the media for using their lies and their fear-mongering, and we can do so without being hypocrites because we're not doing it. We need to stop that shit. I know it's great for the bottom line of gun companies, and I know some gun channels, like, that's one of the reasons I hate that active self-protection channel so much. For one, he's a dumbass fucking Baptist preacher or whatever he is that doesn't know anything about guns or tactics. He's just manipulating you. Just like he did when he's a preacher, he's manipulating your fears now. He's a piece of shit as far as I'm concerned. And you should have heard him speaking at the last event I went to, the Gun Rights Policy Conference. Here's how you make a lot of money off people. You know, that's what I came here to hear. How you make a lot of money off people, how you manipulate people and exploit their fears and get you an agent and do this. That's not what the fight for the Second Amendment's about. So I want people to buy guns for the right reasons. Maintaining a free society, protecting your home and family, but most importantly, because it makes you feel prepared. It's good to be prepared. It's good to be self-reliant. It's good to have fun with them. It's good to enjoy collecting them. There's all kinds of good reasons. We don't have to resort to, boo, you're going to die if you don't go out and buy a gun, because it's just not true. All you do is look at reality and be like, well, all these people I know that don't have a gun, they died of old age. So it's just bad. Period. Using fear to manipulate people is bad. It's not harmless. Like I said, when ASP does it, or the left does it, or media does it, it isn't harmless. It's very harmful. When the media does it, they create this subset of people that are helpless and couldn't rely on their own selves if they had to. They become dependent on the government. They get to a point where they can't do anything for themselves, and if the government ever did turn on them, they'd have no choice but to accept it. And on the other side, you end up with a bunch of angry, subversive, fearful people that own guns for the wrong reasons. So stop using fear. Stop using make-believe. Stop boo to everybody to get them to either buy a gun or dislike a gun. Just use facts, because the facts are on our side. The facts are pro-gun. Reality is pro-gun. So when it comes to selling guns and promoting self-reliance and promoting the Second Amendment, be positive about it. Because the Second Amendment is a very positive thing. Don't use fear, just use facts. Let the other people try to use fear, then we can call them out on it. Because in reality, like I said, the facts don't support them, they support us.
Oops.
Go ahead.
It's the lady at 46 South Road. 46 South Road.
Greenfield.
One call, street zone that police.
10-4.
Got the 4 to go to that location.
Awesome.
This is 1-9, is that correct?